Okay, you guys, get this. Copper tools near Lake Superior, older than the pyramids. Seriously, how cool is that?
Wow.
We're diving deep today into an article from tbnewswatch.com
Yeah.
all about the Ontario Archaeological Society's 2024 symposium.
Oh, wow.
And trust me, you guys, this is some seriously mind-blowing history.
It really does kind of challenge, what we think of when we hear ancient metalworking.
Yeah.
Our minds often go straight to like Egypt,
Right.
Mesopotamia. But this discovery, it's like a powerful reminder that incredible technological advancements were happening right here
Right here.
in North America, thousands of years ago.
3,000 years before the pyramids. Come on, that's just wild.
Yeah.
What does a discovery like this even tell us about the people who were living here during that time?
Well, it places these tools in what archaeologists call the Archaic period in North America. And it was a time of, major cultural development and adaptation. And these weren't just simple tools,
Mm.
The fact that they were working with copper, a metal that requires a certain level of knowledge and skill to extract and shape, it really speaks volumes about indigenous ingenuity and resourcefulness.
So while civilizations were building pyramids in Egypt, indigenous people here were already mastering metalworking. That kind of throws the whole idea of like a single timeline for technological progress right out the window,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
totally.
It's incredible. And the article mentions that the copper found in the Lake Superior region is 99.9% pure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's mind-blowing. Did that purity make it easier or harder to work with?
That's a great question. Native copper, which is copper found in its pure form, is actually quite soft
Okay.
and malleable. Now, you might think that would make it easier to work with.
Right.
But it also presented some challenges. You'd need to develop specific techniques to shape it
Mhm.
and make sure it was durable. Imagine trying to shape a tool from a metal that's both soft and incredibly pure. It would require a whole different skill set than working with something like bronze or iron.
Wow. I never realized how much we could learn about like everyday life from these tools.
Yeah.
It says in the article that they basically made whatever tool they needed. What kind of tools have archaeologists actually found?
We found a really wide range, giving us a glimpse into their daily lives. Everything from fish hooks, spear points for hunting and fishing, to awls, needles for sewing and working with hides. We even see evidence of decorative items,
Wow.
which tells us they had a sense of artistry and cultural expression. It's really quite fascinating.
Can you give us some specific examples? I'm really curious to picture what these tools actually look like.
Well, the article mentions a one-eyed needle.
Okay.
Can you imagine, like, crafting a needle with an eye small enough to thread?
Yeah.
All from a piece of copper?
Yeah.
Thousands of years ago. I bet threading that needle took some serious patience and probably some excellent eyesight.
Uh-huh. For sure.
There's also the impressive biface hand axe.
I found on Mission Island and in the East End, made from Knife River flint. It dates back 9,000 years.
Hold on. A biface hand axe. What's so special about that?
Well, a biface hand axe has both sides sharpened,
Okay.
making it incredibly versatile. They could use it for everything from chopping wood to preparing food.
Right.
And this one was huge, considered one of the largest of its kind.
Wow.
It really paints a vivid picture of their ingenuity and skill.
These tools really tell a story of survival, innovation, and a deep connection to the land.
Absolutely.
And speaking of connections, the article also mentions a connection to residential schools.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you could shed some light on that for us. What does archaeology have to do with residential schools?
That's a very important question.
Mm.
While it might seem unrelated at first, the skills and techniques used in archaeology, things like ground-penetrating radar and excavation,
Okay.
are now being applied to the heartbreaking task of searching for unmarked graves at former residential school sites.
It's a somber reminder of the dark chapters of our history
Right.
and the importance of reconciliation.
It's a powerful reminder that archaeology isn't just about digging up the past.
Right.
It's about understanding our present
Yeah,
and shaping our future.
precisely. And the collaborative approach we talked about earlier is even more critical in this context. Indigenous communities are leading these searches, and archaeologists were there to provide technical support and expertise, always guided by the needs and wishes of the communities.
That's so important. It's about respecting their stories, their pain, and their right to reclaim their history.
Absolutely. The OAS symposium you mentioned in the article really emphasizes the importance of collaborative research, especially with First Nations communities. And that brings us to What evidence points to these being indigenous tools? For that, we have to look at a couple of factors. Well, there are a couple of things.
Okay.
Firstly, these tools were found in areas that are known to have been inhabited by indigenous peoples for thousands of years. We have archaeological records and oral histories that confirm their long-standing presence in the Lake Superior region.
That makes sense. So it's about the location and the history of the people in the area.
Yeah.
What else?
The second factor is the style and craftsmanship of the tools themselves. They exhibit characteristics and techniques that align with known indigenous tool-making traditions. Archaeologists who specialize in indigenous artifacts have identified specific patterns and designs that are consistent with the cultural practices of the time.
So the tools themselves tell a story.
Exactly.
And that story connects to the indigenous peoples of the region. That's fascinating.
It really is, and it highlights the importance of involving indigenous communities in archaeological research. Their traditional knowledge and perspectives are crucial for accurately interpreting these artifacts and understanding their significance.
Absolutely. It's their history, their heritage.
Yep.
So going back to the copper tools, we've talked about their age, their significance, and the collaborative efforts to understand them. What do you think is the most important takeaway for our listeners?
I think the most important takeaway is the realization that indigenous peoples have a long and rich history of innovation and adaptation.
Yeah.
Stretching back thousands of years, these copper tools are a testament to their ingenuity and their deep connection to the land. They challenge our assumptions about the past and remind us that there's always more to learn.
It's a reminder that history isn't just about dates and facts, right?
Right.
It's about the stories of real people, their struggles, their triumphs, and their enduring legacy.
Exactly. And sometimes those stories are hidden beneath the surface, waiting to be discovered and shared with the world. And that brings us to the next step. Now that we have this incredible discovery, what's next? What more can we learn about these ancient copper tools?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
What comes next?
Well, the OAS symposium touched upon that as well. The next step involves continued excavation, analysis, and most importantly, continued dialogue and collaboration with indigenous communities. By combining scientific methods with traditional knowledge, we can piece together a more complete picture of this remarkable copper culture.
This has been such a fascinating deep dive. It's just incredible to see how much we can learn from studying in the past. And for anyone who wants to explore this topic further, we've included a link to the full tbnewswatch.com article in the description below.
Be sure to check it out.
Before we wrap up, we'd love to hear from our listeners. What stood out to you in this deep dive? What other ancient mysteries pique your curiosity? Leave a comment below, and let's keep the conversation going.
We're always eager to hear your thoughts.
And remember, if you enjoy this episode, we'd be so grateful if you take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to Timely Trends and News. Your support really means a lot to us and helps us to keep bringing you these deep dives into the world around us.
We really appreciate each and every one of you.
Until next time, keep exploring.
It's interesting to consider the broader implications of this discovery.
Yeah.
These copper tools from the Lake Superior region
Right.
really challenge the traditional narrative of technological advancement. We often think of progress as linear,
Right.
but these findings show that innovation can happen in different parts of the world
Totally. Yeah.
at different times.
That's such an important point. It really highlights the diversity of human ingenuity and how interconnected our history truly is. And, the fact that these tools were made 2,000 years before the pyramids were built is just mind-boggling.
Yeah.
What other secrets are still out there, just waiting to be uncovered?
That's the allure of archaeology, isn't it? Every discovery opens up new possibilities and challenges us to re-examine what we thought we knew about the past. Who knows what treasures the Lake Superior region might still hold?
Right.
Perhaps there are even older artifacts out there,
Yeah.
just waiting to rewrite our understanding of early human history in North America.
It's exciting to think about. And the best part is we're all part of this journey of discovery. Every time we learn something new about the past, it enriches our understanding of ourselves and the world around us.
Absolutely. And it reminds us that we're all connected across time and across cultures. These ancient copper tools crafted with such skill and care are a tangible link to the generations who came before us.
They're a reminder of our shared human story, a story of resilience, innovation, and the enduring power of the human spirit. And that's a pretty amazing legacy to carry with us, wouldn't you say?
I couldn't agree more. It's a legacy that deserves to be honored, protected, and shared with the world.
Well said. Well, folks, we've reached the end of our deep dive into the ancient copper tools of Lake Superior. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling incredibly inspired by the ingenuity of these early metalworkers.
It's been a fascinating exploration, and we hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have.
Remember, you can find the full article from tbnewswatch.com, linked in the description below. And if this deep dive sparked your curiosity, we hope you'll like, share, and subscribe to Timely Trends and News for more journeys into the fascinating world of history, science, and culture. We truly appreciate your support. It means the world to us.
Thanks for joining us on this journey of discovery.
Until next time, keep exploring.